welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today I'm going to be checking out the new documentary about David Bowie, Moonage Daydream. This film is directed by Brett Morgan, and I am ecstatic. I'm really looking forward to this one, guys. I am a huge Bowie fan, and I cannot wait to see this movie. In fact, I'm actually filming this, and I'm going to start doing this from now on because it's actually a hell of a lot easier on me. But I'm gonna start getting up early in the morning and start doing my intro. I have been like rushing home from work, doing my video, and then heading out to the movie as fast as I humanly can. And it's a drag. It's a total drag. So from now on, I'm gonna film my intro to the movie I'm about to see before I hit the day job, and then just go straight to the movie from there, because it's just, let me tell you, it's a lot easier on me, honestly, schedule-wise, okay? And then also, I get to keep making more of these videos and reviewing more films and getting more content out there for you guys so you can know what's up out there in theaters. And let me tell you guys, this weekend is a doozy. I've got a ton of films, and there's a lot of movies coming out, and I can only see a handful. I can only see 3 of them, and there's more than I would like to see in theaters this weekend, but I'm only gonna see 3, and that is this one, Moonage Daydream, the David Bowie story, and then I'm also going to go see, tomorrow night, I'm gonna go see The Woman King, and then See How They Run. It's a Sam Rockwell murder mystery. You'll see it. You'll see the review up. I won't be getting to that one until Saturday, so it's going to be a little bit after the release of the film for that one, but you know what? I'm a human being. I can only do so much at once. I got a day job. I got this. And let me tell you, folks, I do love doing this for you, and I do love watching movies. So it's no problem. It's no problem whatsoever. I'm just trying to find a way to make it easier on the old man over here, okay? All right, so back to Moonage Daydream, David Bowie. As I was saying, I love me some David Bowie. I'm a big fan. I have been a huge fan of David Bowie. I remember I became a fan of David actually when I was a kid and I saw Labyrinth. I thought he was so freaking cool as the Goblin King. I wanted to know more about this guy, you know, and, well, pardon me. Trying to do the morning cup of coffee thing, you know, trying to combine it because I got to go here in a moment. But anyways, so yeah, I first came aware of David Bowie when I was a kid and I saw Labyrinth. And I love the music in Labyrinth. I had it on the, I had the album and everything, you know, and my dad's like, yeah, you know, this guy you like a lot, his name's David Bowie. Maybe we should get you some of his music if you like this so much. And so we did. We went to the store, and the very first thing I picked out, and I totally based it off of the fact that I liked the album cover. I thought he looked really cool, and he looked the most like the Goblin King in the picture, and that was Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. So the first, I guess you could say the first album. I don't know if Labyrinth counts as my first time purchasing this, because that was a birthday gift. But then the first one that I bought with, well, again, birthday money when I was a kid, was Ziggy Stardust. And so from then on out, it became just a absolute, just huge fan of Bowie from then on. He's probably one of the few musicians that has stayed with me since as early as I can remember, that I've never, you know, kind of gotten bored with or changed music styles or something like that. When I was an angry little teenager, you know, back at when I hit the puberty, I got angry, man, and that's when I really started listening to my punk rock and my heavy metal and stuff like that. But David Bowie was always there. I was always listening to Bowie no matter what. So yes, I am very excited to see this film. I've seen one other documentary by Brett Morgan, and that is The Boy Stays in the Picture, and that's a really good one. It's about a producer in Hollywood. I believe, oh God, I can't remember anything he produced. I want to say he did The Exorcist and maybe The Godfather. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've seen that documentary. I actually rented it out of Netflix back in the day when they would have to mail you the DVD. So I'm pretty sure that's the name of the documentary, is The Boy Stays in the Picture. And now, you know what? It's time for me to stop yammering. It's time for me to get out the door and head to the day job so then I can get on the road again and check out Moonage Daydream. and I am back from checking out the new David Bowie documentary, Moonage Daydream. And let me tell you guys, that was an absolutely amazing experience. I have never quite seen something like that. It was really something else. It was a pretty amazing documentary. Now, the thing about this is that I went into this expecting a normal documentary. You know, the kind where, you know, somebody sits down in front of the camera, the documentary person asks them a couple of questions and they answer things like they sit a roadie down and they're like, so tell us what David was really like when he was on the road. And they tell some story, you know, filled with funny quips or whatever else, you know, to make him seem a bit more human. No, this is not like that in the least. It was just so, I don't know how else to put it, but moving art. Rather than just having, you know, a interview with David Bowie that they had on TV, or maybe something for, you know, interviewing a reporter that may have done a story about David Bowie. This was actually David's words. They might have the interviewer, you might hear the interviewer ask a question and then David Bowie would answer the question and everything, or it was just spoken word about certain things in his life, certain philosophies or things of that sort. The whole time, his music is playing in the background, so different songs throughout his career, and then it's just this, I don't know how else to put it, but just art, so many different things moving on the screen. There's live footage that goes back to his Ziggy Stardust days, all the way up into the more modern era, and I love the way they told his story. It wasn't the run-of-the-mill thing, and that was great because this was David Bowie. David Bowie doesn't get a run-of-the-mill average documentary. Oh no, he gets a spectacular media event, because that is exactly what this felt like. It felt like, I don't know, I can't give you an example of anything like this. It is not a normal style documentary. And I think that I loved that. I think that that's going to make it even that much better, that much more powerful, and really shows that the genre of documentaries is legitimate filmmaking. It's not just life happens in front of a camera, or, you know, like a podcast telling a story and getting interviews from people. No, this was like a picture book of a man's life. And it starts off in the early days when he was doing more of the glam rock over in the UK, and then it progresses more into where he went in his career, where he ended up, and it is amazing. I love the way it was presented. It was so unusual. It was very honoring for someone like Bowie, who has always been someone who pushes the boundaries and the edge of music and art. It was really cool because there were things about the documentary that I kind of thought were funny. Like, there's footage in the film that I don't think has been seen before, and I wonder if at certain points in his career, if he just like hired somebody to walk around with him with a video camera or whatever, because there's like some footage in this that is very well shot, and you're like, no way this is just some random journalist on the side of the road who's like, oh my god, is that David Bowie? And then just kind of follow him around. That kind of stuff was really cool. Also, David Bowie has always been really interested in, you know, visual media, visual art, and things of that sort. And he was really into doing different videos and things of that sort. And I wonder if some of those videos were used in this film. I don't know, honestly. It did show a lot of his original art that he had done, also his paintings and all. And I hadn't seen a lot of it, so that was really neat to see. But it was just the way that the entire film was presented. And because it's a documentary also, I didn't think it was fair of me to do like a rating system on it, because I don't know how to do a rating system for a documentary. I mean, a documentary is kind of, it is what it is. So basically what I'm saying is this something that I feel that you should see in theaters? And that's a big solid yes. Now, if you are a fan of David Bowie, obviously, like myself, you're going to have a much different take on this. It's going to seem a lot more personal. You're going to love the music in it and everything else. If you're someone that might just kind of like him, I still think this is something that you might want to go see. If you are a fan of music in general, this is definitely another yes, go see this in theaters just because of the way it's presented. Like I said, this is not your run-of-the-mill documentary. You're not going to have somebody sitting down in front of a camera telling stories about David Bowie. The entire story of this film is told throughout his music, his art, and his own voice, his own interviews that he had done over the years about, his creative process or, why he's doing something. And for an artist like David Bowie, who's constantly shifting and changing every single aspect about himself, not just his look, but his music and everything. This is such a great way to pay tribute to him with a very off-the-wall, different, unique documentary, something that you won't find anywhere else. Now, folks, I saw this at the IMAX, and pay for that ticket. Pay the extra couple of bucks, especially if you are a Bowie super fan. The entire thing is just an amazing presentation of multimedia. You really want to see it in something like IMAX. I saw it IMAX, 4K, super surround, all that good stuff, and it just was mind-boggling. When they would show live footage or, from his concerts and everything, it felt like you were there. In fact, a lot of the music in the documentary is taken from live recordings, and it was really neat how they would use that to overlay in, like there would be the music playing in the background, and then they would be talking about some event in his life, and then it would just kind of fade into all of a sudden, now you're on stage with David Bowie, and he's playing a sold-out amphitheater. Wow! And things like that. Like, this was one of those documentaries I'm like, kind of wish this had a 3D. That would be kind of cool to sit here and watch this in 3D. So yes, much like the artist himself, much like David Bowie, this is an extremely different, very well-made film. I mean, that's just the best I've got. Like I said, if you are a big David Bowie fan, definitely get out there and see this in theaters. If you're a big fan of music and you're sick of the normal humdrum, music documentary, like the Behind the Music VH1, if you're tired of stuff like that, then go see this, because you're going to want your favorite band or musician to get a documentary like this. Check it out. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. Again, like I said, solid film. Check it out in the IMAX with the big sound and the big screen. You are going to love it. Alright, well that's all I got for you today, folks. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. I'm gonna.